The following is a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. Hollywood Redefined. From Los Angeles, California, streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is Black Hollywood Live, Geek.Nerd.Tech, featuring a weekly roundup of tech news and gossip. Black Hollywood Live, Hollywood Redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host of Black Hollywood Live, Geek.Nerd.Tech.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Talk to me. Guess who's back?
Oh, yeah.
Produced by Kanye West. Rapped on by
Face
Jay-Z.
Mob.
But on Scarface's album.
Yeah.
And it's a classic beat. Welcome to Geek.Nerd.Tech, 2016 version of Geek.Nerd.Tech, that is.
Guess who's back?
Guess who's back? The show we break down nerd culture tech news from a black and brown geek perspective in 2016. I'm Joe Braswell, joined as always by Achilles Shine.
Man.
What's up, sir?
What's up, fellow goats?
How you doing?
I'm good, man.
I'll get to the third goat in 1 second. But before that, Alexis Torres is in the booth. Hi, Alexis.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Turn
How
your
are
mic.
you? Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to do like a million things, okay?
No, it's
Trying to
okay.
make
It's
your show
good.
look good.
Thank you. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm
Happy
ready for
New Year.
Happy New Year.
So, we got two goats here. Two goats and Capricorns. But there's a third goat that's been a new addition.
Yeah, it's a new addition, man.
Baby Shine was
Baby
born
Shine.
on New Year's Day.
On New Year's
Woohoo,
Day, man.
Congratulations.
Jahi
Yeah, man. He's in the building.
in the building.
He's
Congratulations.
a week old.
1 week old, man. It's in 2016, so
It's awesome, man.
already a boss. So
Already.
Congratulations on that. I just wanted to make sure we acknowledge that on the air of the show.
course.
Of course, it's important.
Thanks, man.
So 2016, man. I want to talk a little bit about before we get into this tech stuff, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I just, Star Wars, we all saw it. Actually, I'm going to save it because we're going to talk about it later.
Okay.
But we all saw it, some of us more times than others. Lexus is the winner in the amount of times she's seen it.
What? I thought Achilles said he saw it 17 times.
Yeah. with a pregnant wife and a new baby, 17
Yeah, I know,
times.
right? Just kidding.
But let's get into some tech news. We'll kind of work our way over to Star Wars and some other stuff. The first thing that's been in the news lately is the White House has had another tech summit, another security tech summit. And this one they have these from time to time. Obama and the Security Council will invite in usually all the brains of Silicon Valley and all the CEOs. But this time they brought in to discuss ISIS, and it's interesting because ISIS, and this is Tim. When I say the brains, I mean everyone from Tim Cook to all people from Google and Facebook and Microsoft, and they all kind of come through. And what happens is they want to talk about ISIS because ISIS's recruitment is really strong. Their propaganda game is so strong online.
Absolutely.
And they wanted to figure out how all these tech companies, giants, could help either identify or fight that. And I think it's a good, smart move.
I think it's a smart move. I think the argument kind of is like, because of how social media works and how people utilize these apps and these platforms, is that a lot of the messaging or a lot of information is encrypted. So it's a great platform for a terrorist organization to be able to send information or recruit people without being noticed or tracked. And so what the government is trying to do is figure out a way to partner with some of these platform creators and how to go away with the encryption, or how to be able to penetrate the encryption so they can be able to pinpoint the messaging of ISIS. And so I think that's kind of like where this dialogue is happening. It's like, how can we as a country, being that Silicon Valley is in the United States, like how can we have a better dialogue to be able to funnel out a lot of this stuff that is detrimental to the world? And so I think that's kind of like the conversation.
And I do like the idea of using the private sector because we are the tech leaders in a lot of ways, and it is out of California, out of here, all the tech, and having California and Washington join together to fight people who are fighting against America just makes sense. It just seems like some parties are always talking about the private sector. Well, we're utilizing the private sector, so here we are.
But the thing is, it's like, so how do you find the balance between going away with the encryption technology, and you as Joe want to keep your stuff private though as a person.
Yeah.
And so like where's the fine line drawn? Because now they can check out all the stuff that you're sending to your whoever.
Tim Cook ain't giving him his shit.
Exactly.
Mark Zuckerberg's got some extra encryption software for his stuff.
Exactly.
I'll give you this encryption software, but you
for
can't have
me,
mine.
nah,
Yeah,
right.
no, I don't know. Yeah, I gotta believe that. I mean, look, they're at the forefront of all this stuff. These are the guys who collectively create this stuff, and also there's a competitive nature to there's that whole thing. Let's all band together for the country, but this is also it's still Apple versus despite that commercial over the holidays, it's still Apple versus Microsoft.
Yeah.
Sort of Google versus everybody.
Yeah.
Facebook versus everybody. So
True.
we'll see how it all shakes out. But I like the idea of it. I'll move on. So speaking of Facebook. The entire 2015 is the year of me either hating on or rejecting or like not acknowledging Facebook.
Hey, how could you not?
Undeniable. This new stat I just threw it all up. Like, all right, well, forget it. Facebook's taking over the world. Facebook Messenger just reached 800 million users.
That's crazy, man.
Which almost isn't the craziest stat. The craziest stat for me is. Just last summer, they were at 7.
Yeah, they bumped up 100 million in 1 quarter, essentially. That's crazy.
The summer they were at 7. They're up 200 million since March. So in a year ago, they 200 million in a year, but 100 million since the summer. The summer was like 3 months ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like what?
Yeah.
What's happened? So I mean, it says a couple of things for me. It's like it says obviously the power of Facebook is Facebook, but the fact that Messenger is growing faster than like Snapchat, Instagram, any new platform that's come out.
It's the fastest growth of all the platforms.
And it's what do you attribute that to? First of all, Alexis, do you use Messenger?
Because Facebook makes you kind of use it. Because even though there's 800 million people using it, I still see some of my friends on Facebook who aren't using it. They still kind of use it. Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's just really annoying because you sit there and if you're trying to message people on your actual Facebook app, it's like use the Messenger app.
Yeah.
I'm like go away. But
there's some trickery there. It's almost like if you're using Facebook mobile, they're really railroading. In fact, when you get a message, that pop up comes up like gotta use
every
Messenger, and I always just like shut it down. Like nah, I just so I don't really mess with Facebook, but because of that, because I just hate the idea of being railroaded into stuff. But like, damn, do you use it?
I mean, I don't think most of my communication comes through Facebook as a private message, but I can see how powerful the tool is, how powerful the app is, like especially what they're doing with the Uber integration, and they're doing different things where you can do like video conferencing and stuff like that. So I could see the application for it in maybe a business setting or even like socially. Like, I mean, Facebook is the biggest platform there is. Like 800 million users. That's like almost three times the many people that live in America.
Yeah.
Just that use that app. So I mean, clearly it has some great functionality that people globally use it. So
I wonder. This is what Zuckerberg wants, but I wonder what the tipping point will be for guys like me and maybe you to a certain extent, Alexis. What the tipping point will be where you're finally like where there's more people out there. The more people you're trying to get in touch with are using Facebook. Therefore, you have to acquiesce and start using it. Like, I hope that tipping point doesn't come, but where it's like, it's kind of there now socially. We're like, oh, just hit me up on Facebook. Oh, just check this out on Facebook. I sent your link through Facebook. I'm like, I don't know any of that stuff.
Literally, I was just at the airport because I flew for the holidays, and I took an airline I've never used before. It's called Spirit.
Oh, no, don't ever do that one
right?
again.
No, I know.
Again.
No, I will never do it again because literally there was a guy there that checked my bags in, and he moved up my seat and all this kind of stuff, and he like found me on Facebook and like started like messaging me like, hey, and even though I have a privacy setting, I can see who messaged me or not, but like because he had my information from the boarding pass, he was able to just type in my name and
wait, hold
it.
on. Let me get this straight. You were checking in, like, hey, I want to go on this flight. He's like, oh, Alexis Torres, nice to meet you. And then he like went to the bathroom and like Facebooked you up.
Yeah, like literally, I got on my flight. I got on my flight, and I was flying out. And then when I landed in Atlanta, because that was my layover, I looked at my phone, and there was a little message that popped up like, "Hi, my name's Raul. I'm the one that checked you in and bumped up your."
Was he trying to rap to you? Was it like a rap, or was he just like, "Hey, I want to be your friend"?
He wanted me. That's like to put that in a weird, clean perspective.
What is that? That's interesting. So what is? I mean, not the sidebar because we don't have much time today, but like, what is the line on that? Because on one hand, you could say,
is it weird that
that's a great move. Like, because look, if you want to talk to a guy or a girl and you they rolled up and you had the balls to sort of ask them out, like, oh, were you flying Dallas?
But he didn't.
I'm from Dallas, baby.
Well, yeah, but that's like when you're like,
you like to fly? I like to fly.
Like when you're sitting next to each other, like waiting for your flight. I get that, but he was literally working. And
I guess in the capacity of an employee, that's inappropriate.
Like I don't mind if we're just talking small talk or something, and it's like, oh, like you're really pretty, this and this. I'm like, oh, that's really nice and stuff. And I don't mind if you even ask hey, can I contact you? He immediately sat there and deliberately looked me up, messaged me, and was here's my number, here's this, here's that. And I was like,
I think it opens up the dialogue of what are the new social norms.
Yeah,
it's sort of dating, right?
How people get at.
No, and I found that interesting, and I wanted to bring that up if we did talk about the Facebook Messenger thing of how now people are using it for different ways to get that booty apparently.
That's extremely
Alexis, I think that's a great story. Like just a thing like, hey, I met my boo just flying on Spirit, and now we're married with 3 kids. Like, he hollered at me on Facebook.
That'd be the best and the worst story ever. First of all, his game's already immensely depleted because he works at Spirit.
But what about your Facebook game?
Even better if he worked at feel like Virgin.
Oh, or, if you worked at Virgin, it'd be a different story. Guys.
And then you don't want those free Spirit miles. You didn't want those miles.
It was the worst flight I've ever taken. So, and then he even said he messaged me. He was like, yeah. So if you're flying Spirit back, I was like, no, I'm flying Southwest. He's like, oh, well, I was gonna try and see if I can work that day. And I was like, nah, it's all right.
It's not worth it. Whatever free deal he's working ain't worth it. Last but on this,
anyway,
I just think no, it's fine, it's interesting. But the interesting thing about people, the scary thing is he's like, oh yeah, can I get your number? Can I get your name number? He's like, no, it's good. I got it anyway. See you on Facebook. Like what?
That's what I'm saying.
That's ridiculous.
That would have been fine if he asked me hey, do you have a Facebook? And I would have been like, oh yes, but I'm taken.
Too late.
Too
late. I just messaged you.
Yeah, but instead of just
would you have preferred him to stalk you on Facebook?
No.
All right then, so I respect him.
Yeah.
But it's also go to Ken. I'm
gonna say he could have been easily looking at your profile, not saying anything, which I'm sure a lot of people do and troll and do all that stuff. But he had the balls enough to be like, "Yo, what's up?"
And I take that, and I respected the fact that he at least messaged me. It just threw me off guard because he just assumed that I was single and just messaged me and was like, "Here's all my." I was like, "You pretty much he gave me his email, he gave me his phone number, he almost told me where he lived. It was it was a little much. That's all I'm saying."
What if you're crazy? What if you're like, "Thank you"?
You
show up in his crib.
That's what I'm saying. What if I was nuts and I showed up and I was like,
in a Spirit stewardess outfit?
I want your skin on my skin. It would have been weird.
That's crazy.
That's all I'm saying.
This is the last thing I'll say. But it's every romantic comedy in the 90s and in the aughts and the 2000s.
Oh my god.
Have some sort of thought. It's I found your business card. You dropped your business card, so I decided to follow you to the flower shop. You're oh, how sweet. That's pretty stalkery. So I don't know. I don't know what these social norms are.
There's a weird blurred line now with this kind of stuff.
I asked a cab driver where you lived, so I went and followed you to your work. I just wanted to meet you. I'm Matthew McConaughey. And then whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't mean to sidetrack everybody. I just thought it was really funny how that came up.
All right, moving on. Okay, so Messenger has blown up. I don't know. I'm done officially done underestimating Facebook. I think the tipping point. I'm dreading the day where I try to contact someone. They're like, you can only reach me through Facebook exclusively, and I have to make the decision: am I ever talking to this person again, or do I have to go? Do I have to get on Messenger? Yeah. That's the tipping point for me where it's going to be like, ugh. Anyway, all right. So moving forward. Speaking of Facebook and domination, Oculus Rift prices came out. It's $600. I'm sorry, $599.
Yeah.
So $600.
Yes.
Why you're around the bush.
Yeah, which is pretty steep, and also they mentioned in this that honestly this is just, it's still a hidden cost because you're gonna have to get pretty much new hardware to be able to run Oculus Rift. You can't just plug that joint into your existing computer. You're gonna have to have the joint to run it. So I mean, it's a pretty decent investment to be able to do that. Although this is the future, I guess the question is, and Facebook is laughing, twisting its mustache, but we're all going to be doing something with this, but like everything else, do we get it now or do we wait?
I think it's a smart move because the people that will have access to it are going to be the smart guys. They're going to be the guys that are developing and framing stuff and making it tighter and making it better and creating the dope experiences. So by the time we have, you know, they're giving that access to the creators, you know what I'm saying, first. And so once they create some dope stuff, then I'm sure that price point will come down and then more people will be able to consume it and it'll be more easily adopted, you know what I'm saying, versus giving the access to everyone. Almost like 4K. They have a 4K TV, but no 4K content. Yeah. So I think it's kind of like this.
4K camera, no 4K. Oh, yeah. I agree. Do you care about Oculus Rift, Alexis?
No, I want one. Like, I want one. I know that I can't.
To the tune of $600?
No, I'm not.
The dude from Spirit was about to give you one.
See?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I need a sugar daddy. But no, that's the thing is that, like, I'm really weird about that kind of stuff where I really want the latest and the newest technology, but, like, $500, $600 could go to a lot of things, especially for me, like my college loans.
Yep.
Groceries, stuff like that. Like, I can wait until maybe they start bringing it down, maybe even a little bit, but like I'm not in a rush to get it right when it comes out.
Have you ever put one on?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really cool.
We missed CES this year.
I was gonna say there's a lot of stuff happening in CES. Like there was like a big deal of gosh, I forgot the article, but like some Chinese inventor got arrested at CES because I guess he copied another person.
Oh wow.
That came out this morning.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. We didn't go this year, and we didn't really put too many CES stories. Maybe we'll cover that a little bit more next week when it all shakes down. But I know there's a lot of VR stuff going on there too. So, but speaking of which, I want to jump to this story. Speaking of this, GoPro is now saying that all their YouTube videos will have the HD VR options, which is, I think that's kind of dope already, because GoPro, their bread and butter now is pretty much own the extreme sports world. Absolutely. I mean, so if you're doing anything extreme, wingsuits, anything, the entire movie of Point Break, which I'm sure you saw, but anything is all shot on GoPros, you know, and so the idea of having a 360 version of that, or VR version of that, I should say, would be dope. Now, CES 2 years ago, we saw that camera, the Fly 360, which is like the sphere, and it gives you a full 360 view. I'm not sure how far along that is, but GoPro seems to dominate. What do you think of this VR GoPro situation?
I think it's a great idea for GoPro because of where they are in the like you said, in the extreme sports space. Like, to be able to watch something like that 360 degrees, or be able to immerse yourself, and from the perspective of whoever's doing the trick on the skateboard, or doing the run through the wave or whatever. Like, I think like that is a great opportunity to like promote this type of content and type of technology, because people are already interested in seeing cool footage like that, but be able to have the option, you know, to immerse yourself in that world, I think is super smart. And it was saying that it's almost so real that in a dream you might think it's a dream, or you might think 2 weeks ahead, like, wait, did I actually do this? Because you were so immersed. Like, I think that's hella cool, you know.
Yeah, that's those effects. I mean, even like, you know, like these immersive things. I keep thinking about flying over California at Disneyland. That sort of that immersive screen with the smells and the wind. Right. Like, it's really like, I think about that in those terms. Like, oh, did I see that viewpoint of Palm Springs? Or like, oh no, that wasn't stored in California. So I can imagine that enough of these, you really thought you did some of that stuff. But it's very interesting. I want to go back to talk about the holidays that happen. You know, Apple is, we know Apple as a, you know, sort of technology leader and a tech giant, and they're, you know, they're a tech innovator, and their hardware is amazing. But people don't sleep on Apple's retail power. Man. Apple is selling a lot of shit. The App Store alone, we're not talking about the stores. We're not talking about iTunes selling a bunch of stuff. We're not talking about movies. We're talking about the App Store. Yeah. The App Store, $1.1 billion over the holidays in apps.
That's retarded. On New Year's Day alone, 144 million.
What is that stat? I don't understand that. I guess on New Year's Day, people, and most of those are like sort of fitness apps and cooking apps, and everyone's trying to get in shape and you have new diets and stuff. But like 1.1 billion during the holidays alone.
That's amazing.
What is Apple doing?
That is killing. Yeah,
like
we made $1 billion the last 2 weeks just on our apps. Just on the App Store.
These stats are staggering to me. Is that just a proliferation of like, is where things are going with the handhelds and handhelds and handhelds? I mean, these numbers are really insane to me.
I definitely think it's a proliferation of consumers buying, obviously, tablets and phones, and also developers having the opportunity and now the infrastructure to be able to develop apps more frequently and more easily, and be able to have the distribution platform to be able to do that. So I remember when the App Store started, there's only like a few, maybe 100,000 that had the access to it, the API. But now, like, you have millions of people that are developing apps, and so I think that's the reason. And it's not just, it's worldwide, it's global. So you got to think about China, you got to think about all these huge markets that have iPhones now, that are using apps and developing apps. So that's why those numbers are so high.
It's insane. Like, what do you use a lot of apps, Alexis?
Yeah. I just we have to remember though, I have a Samsung phone.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're not in the App Store. You're in the the Galaxy universe.
I have Google Play, weirdo.
Okay. Google Play. I don't know.
What is that? What is that?
It's pretty. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, we're not gonna get into this.
Okay. Well, I thought this was interesting because I know you and I, Kelly, we don't really buy a lot. Like, you and I aren't like heavy buyers of stuff. We are able to either get stuff or have stuff given to us. But like, I thought, like, I have a lot of apps, but I do a lot of free apps and a lot of other stuff. And I thought, like, I'm not one of those suckers. So I looked, and you know how much money I spent on apps in 2015?
Probably spent about 50, maybe 100.
I spent like $300.
Yeah.
That's pretty high. I'm a guy who doesn't think I'm spending any money on apps. I look up, I spent $300 on apps. Like, that's a lot. I mean, it's $299 here, the $199 here. I bought a couple of things.
So you're spending
for my
about
computer.
$30 a month on apps? That is kind of high.
That's kind of high.
Yeah, that is kind of high.
I mean, there's some inflated ones, and I bought one. I think I bought one for my computer that was like, $29 or something. So you get invaded. But like a lot of like, some games I suck in with the game. I just bought a game 2 days ago for $4.99.
Yeah, it adds up.
Badlands 2 came out. And I love Badlands so much. I think I got Badlands for like $1.99, but then they got me. Badlands 2 $4.99. I was like, I want it.
Hey.
Badlands 3 $10. I might buy it. Like, this is where it's at. So anyway,
I can't do that. I'm a cheap mofo.
Me too. But that's what I thought. I'm like, they ain't getting mine. That $1 billion ain't getting me. But I got $300 in there.
I think this is a genius. This is what makes Apple genius. They create this distribution platform where other people have their own IP to create something, and they'd be like, well, you could use us because we're Apple and we're huge, and we'll just get our percentage. And they're doing that with every app developer, the millions of them that are out there. They're getting a percentage of all of that money, and that's why those numbers are so high, because there's so many people developing apps. Because we're so app dependent now. It's like, and it's going to continue to increase, and those numbers are going to continue to fluctuate. So, and I think it's amazing.
I think it's amazing too. But here's the other thing that's so interesting to me, like in terms of where this is going, with Facebook and Apple alike. Like, so we talk about content and the shift, to Netflix, and YouTube's coming up, and all these the shift to like streaming and digital and apps as over channels, and how it's going to work. The TV ecosystem is based, as we know, on ad dollars. They have upfronts every year. It's been $9 billion a year. People traditionally are like, well, how are you going to replicate that amount of money? That's just $9 billion in one day, and how are you going to replicate that? And they do $74 billion in the year. Like, how are you going to replicate that with your little apps?
Okay.
Exactly. Like, Apple has their own ecosystem where they are generating $1.1 billion in revenue in one quarter, like in one segment of their ecosystem on the App Store. Like, I think that Apple is already setting up a system where they can convincingly tell whether it's content makers or producers or even advertisers that like we can support the business of television that makes $74 billion. Bring all your content to us. We can support that. I think that, Amazon's not there yet. Like, not like that. Facebook is there. Facebook is making so much money. It has so many avenues for every advertiser to reach every eyeball.
Absolutely.
1 billion eyeballs in a blink of an eye. And like Facebook, when Facebook launches their original programming content, the Facebook channel, whatever it's going to be, like that's going to be competitive. I think that the two people that aren't on the radar yet, and you can talk about Amazon, you can talk about Yahoo, you can talk about Netflix, you can talk about Hulu, and YouTube Red just launched. But I'm telling you, when Apple and Facebook launch, they're like getting everything together quietly. When they launch the Apple channel and the Facebook channel, it might be game over.
It might be. It probably will be. I'm just reading this, man. 2014 App Store, $10 billion in sales. This year is $15 billion. Like that is an amazing figure just for having
crazy.
a store of apps that other people developed.
Yeah.
15 billion profit.
And they're just taking that little chunk. I mean, they're sliding out with like 2 Bs just for showing up.
Man.
Just for hosting a party.
Exactly.
That's crazy. Anyway, all right. So there's that. Let's shift gears. Let's get into some let's get into some culture stuff. A little space movie opened over the holidays called Star Wars. And speaking of bees, it's already hit $1.5 billion. It's past the Avengers. I was very confident in saying, until Akili corrected me, that it's on pace to being the biggest movie of all time. But it is going to pass Avatar domestically.
Yeah,
but not
international.
but probably not globally.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're still waiting for China though. But I also agree with Akili on that one because China's not really a big, like, they're not like giant fans of Star Wars like we are out here and all over the world. So I don't know if they're going to exceed.
I mean, Avatar played well for
and
China.
Avatar was in theaters for a really long frickin' time too.
It's one of the biggest movies in China ever.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like it'll do well, but I don't think it's going to explode out there.
Well,
I never know. But you never know.
Well, you never know. But I'm already like dubious when that the story came out. What China did to the poster. Did you read this? Yeah. Well,
I mean, that's not just for just Star Wars. That's just technically in international waters, especially in Asia. A non-white lead actor or any type of movie that has that, it does not do well out there. Or they don't even show it at all. Like, that's why Tyler Perry would never go international like that. It's not common.
Here's first of all, I hear that and I know that that is what the studios have said, but I have to call a very vigorous bullshit on that.
I would second that as well.
But what you're saying is the company line, is what the studios have said for the last 45 years. Like,
of course.
Oh, we love this, but you know how it is.
It's not going to work overseas.
It doesn't open overseas. So, like, and this is I know this because there's this interesting conversation with Ice Cube on Hollywood Reporter talking about this very thing and talking about Straight Outta Compton and how Universal has like said, okay, we're gonna take this movie and we're gonna promote it. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, I'm misstepping. Right along.
Yeah.
They said, like, we're gonna get behind this movie and promote it like a full blown action movie. It's 2 black leads, and over the years, it's like no, but like I forget who it was. It was like no, we're gonna do this, and it did well.
Okay.
And the theory is it's a chicken egg. It's like the black movies don't do well because you don't promote the black movies.
Precisely.
Like it's promotion. If you go over there, if you go in Germany or wherever, I don't know, like Finland, and you go do a press tour, and you got Kevin Hart and Ice Cube, and you're like promoting the hell out of the movie, people go see it.
Exactly.
It's
just like
PR.
they see any other movie. Yeah.
How do you think your movie gets seen here?
Exactly.
And but so the notion of like, they'll never go for it, and so we were not going to send a promotion team, and so like, and the reason why that's interesting is because these rules are being broken now,
right?
Because someone's savvy enough to be like, we're missing out on money. Let's spend some money. Let's send Kevin Hart and Ice Cube.
That's why I thought.
And see what happens. And so I'm saying all that to say. I would not directly say you, Alexis. I'm saying like that is now proven false. Now China is a different story, but because China's China, and it's hard to promote any movies in China. Like a Bradley Cooper movie is hard to promote in China. But speaking to that, I don't know if you know about the poster, but the famous sort of Star Wars poster.
Yeah, they took away Finn and Chewbacca.
with everyone on there. They shrunk Finn down.
Exactly.
They shrunk him down to look like he's in the background.
Exactly. Versus the foreground.
Yeah, in the foreground, and then they took out Chewbacca, right?
Yep, completely.
So I don't know what they got against Chewbacca, but they shrunk down Finn, and so I don't know. Doesn't like China's ready for Star Wars, but we'll see.
All I know is from the research that I found that they're not big on Star Wars at all, really.
Well, really quickly, if you can, just what did you think, Alexis? You saw it how many times? 6?
I saw it 4 times.
4
I thought
times.
it was really good.
Okay.
Yes.
Every format, 3D, IMAX.
Yes,
okay.
I saw every single type that you can think of. I really wanted to see it. What was it, 70 millimeter or whatever film? I wanted to see it in that, but I think they're only showing that in like Oregon or something like that.
Do they have it in 70 millimeter?
Something like that. You can't quote me on that. I
Okay.
just know it's in some
I don't
sort
think. I'm gonna say
either
that's
70
not
or
true.
50, but like it's
Okay.
it's one or the other. But like I think they're only showing it in like one state or even
Right.
one country.
Okay.
And I heard it's fantastic. But yeah, other than that, I thought it was really, really good. I know a lot of people were giving it crap because it's exactly like the New Hope. Or A New
Same
Hope.
beats, and I'm okay
Yeah,
with that.
And I'm okay with that. It was enough of nostalgia. I cried every single time.
Yep.
And it was, I don't know, I thought it was great.
Okay. Shine.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Alexis on that. It's definitely in terms of the narrative arc, it's the same structure. The Sith Lords or the evil side, the dark side of the Force is always trying to build some type of, destructive, powerful weapon, and the Rebel Force is always trying to prevent that. So it's the same story, but I think it works. I love the new character implementation. I do feel that, like I was saying to you offline, I think the hype machine definitely built it up. My expectation was a little higher, but I still think the movie was good. I like how it ended with ambiguity. Is it Luke Skywalker's daughter? I think we were talking about her character, and just in terms of how fast she acquired the power of the Force. I think that was a bit far-fetched.
What's this thing? A lightsaber to like.
Exactly. I think that was a bit far-fetched, but the action sequences were awesome. The technology, I love the fact when the Sith Lord he used the Force and he paused the laser.
Dope.
That was freaking cool.
That was the walking by and
exactly.
looking at it. That was
nice.
That was nice. That was a nice touch. Yeah.
I think the direction was awesome. I love the comical insertion into it.
Yep.
Overall, man, it was great entertainment value. What about your takes?
I loved it. I mean, I've said I'm a Star Wars head. Saw every movie in the theater. Blah blah blah. Saw every 1,000 times. I think J.J. Abrams had an impossible job to be able to like take this and like fit everyone's individual expectations, because Star Wars means so much to us each individually, and to like he did it with Star Trek. And very successfully, the first one, and I think he did again, hit out of the park. If there's any guy that's going to take your IP, your beloved IP, and take it and make it something good,
respectable,
it's J.J. Abrams, and he did a great job. And in terms of like getting into it, I just think that the three leads were I think Finn and Rey and Kylo. John Boyega, Daisy Ridley, and Adam Driver were spectacular. I think they were just great. I think that Daisy Ridley, she's everything you want her to be. She's pretty. She's also like tough, like a badass, but she's also vulnerable and wide-eyed. Yep. And I think John Boyega does a great job at this like wide-eyed, like, whoa, what's happening? I don't know. Like that you need that in Star Wars. For that kind of like that holy shit, I don't believe this is happening kind of thing with the comedy.
Absolutely.
And that's really hard to play, and it's hard to play. That's why, and I think he's great. And doing an American accent, ironically, the whole time as a Brit, and she's doing a British accent, which is an interesting choice. And I think Adam Driver is bringing a lot to it. I mean, people are sort of critical when he takes off his helmet and he's too little too like hair, but I think he's just complex and menacing. And I particularly love some of the shots. There's some really cool iconic shots.
Yeah.
My theater, I saw it twice. The first day I saw it open at 7:00 on Thursday on opening day, and it was packed, and people were literally cheering, crying, screaming,
completely emotional.
And I was emotional too. It was really fun being with like what felt like Star Wars fans of all ages just really having a good time at the movie. At the end of the day, it's just a good time at the movies.
Absolutely.
Like I haven't, it's when like it reminds me of Creed. Like this and Creed to me were just
you having fun.
Just great times at the movies, and it just makes you love movies and love franchises. And I'm looking for something fresh though, like to give me that feeling. I've really had something that's wholly original.
Are you about to? See
you talking about the Revenant?
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Okay, but something that's wholly original. That's not like because even Guardians of the Galaxy is like a drip, which is a great fun experience. Is still based on something. So, but other than that, man, thumbs way up.
I got two last points that I loved about the movie. I love how they show the scale of the spaceships.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
and when they're on a planet, I thought that was really cool. Like the crashed spaceships, that was dope. Just to see how large
all those vistas. That's some amazing shot. Like that shot of this crashed Star Destroyer in the sand, her little going by.
Exactly.
That's an amazing shot. Yeah. Like, and when you saw that in the trailer, you were like, this is gonna be dope. And also, I like the some of the shots that he did, like that weird kind of apocalypse now looking shot of the TIE fighters coming in the sunrise.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was kind of cool to see TIE fighters in the daytime, not in space, kind of like used as bombers.
Yes,
And,
that's what I wanted to bring up, was the fact that I like that the TIE fighters were just hanging out and not in space, but like, you know, it's over water, and it was, because when I saw that in the trailer, I was like, oh, that's really cool, and seeing it actually in the full film was really awesome.
and even when my boy, who is one of my favorite guys,
Poe Dameron?
Yeah, Poe Dameron, Oscar Isaacs, when he got to fly the TIE fighter, that's very vicarious feeling of like, I've always wanted to fly one of these. Like, you know, like someone brought up a good point about we as kids always like spend so much time playing Star Wars. I mean, I had this TIE fighter flying it around, making them sound, you know, doing all that stuff. And like, that's really kind of what J.J. Abrams was doing instead of vicariously saying, is like getting in a TIE fighter, you see the inside, you know, I always want to fly one of these things, and just seeing it move. Whoa, this thing is fast. Like vicariously, I'm like, yeah, it is fast, isn't it? Get in there. You know, it's like
the one thing I did want to ask you guys is that how did you guys feel about John Boyega's acting? Some people were really, really into it. Some people thought it was kind of cartoonish and he was too much.
I get it, but I think he was definitely enthusiastic, and definitely those things I talked about, like so that wide-eyed enthusiastic
Which makes
wonder,
sense because he's never left home.
Right.
Yeah, but so that's why like I'm a stormtrooper, and him being like, oh my god, I'm out in the world.
Right.
I get that people think that was sort of over the top, and he's like overacting a bit,
Yeah,
but I
they
think
didn't
that
like his,
like
heavy breathing shoulder.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, like, but I get that. But that's a lot of like sort of moviegoer cynicism.
Yeah.
We have a lot of like movies are full of a lot of motherfuckers sitting around acting cool.
Right.
Like you watch, I mean, like someone else about stuff. You watch the Civil War trailer, Avengers Civil. Everyone's like posed up,
right,
looking cool. Like I don't even like you know my man, you know from Captain America to the Falcon. They're like looking up. I don't know, Cap. I don't know, Falcon.
Yeah.
Like everybody's so damn cool, you know. So it's kind of refreshing to see that, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I agree. I think he did an awesome job. I didn't have a problem with his choices as an actor or how they positioned him as a character.
Okay.
I think what he did was dope. Like I think it was a grand slam for him. And my last note, though, I want to ask you guys, like, it's a statement and a question. I'm interested in seeing how they explain the Force. You know what I'm saying? Like in the future movies, I feel like they can take that in a different direction. So the question is, I forgot the name of the other character they introduced, but like
which one?
Like
what does he look like?
The evil guy, the dark.
Snoke, Supreme
Snoke.
Leader Snoke.
Yeah.
Do you think there's another character behind? Does he have a master?
Yes.
Or like
that's what I was thinking.
is he the master or does he have a master? You know?
I agree with you on that one, where I love how this movie has sparked
Deep Force
so
origins.
has sparked so many theories. I am like the two things I didn't like about the movie, even watching it 4 times, is I mean it's not their fault because we don't have enough time for it, but I wanted to know about more about what the First Order was and how it came to be and why are they choosing to do this, and then like the Knights of Ren.
I mean, do you really though?
I do,
because
I'm one of those nerds that I want to know.
I want to know too,
but
this is kind of the issue. We'll wrap up in a second here.
Yeah.
But like this is the issue that bogged down the first 3 movies when George Lucas went back, because people George Lucas like, I'm going to explain everything, and then you get into like Senate hearings and tax tariffs and all the politics and like, I renounce you, Senator, and all this sort of stuff, and we don't have the taxation to build the new. I was like,
right. No, I mean, I
don't
understand.
care. Like, just
I don't want
you
it
know.
to be like in full detail. I just want an explanation.
Yeah,
that's all.
I get it, and I hopefully they'll get into that. I do like the fact that it's kind of like, and this is a new order, and here they are, and there it is. I'm like, okay,
but to
it's fine by me.
Achilles' question, I think to kind of play off of that, I think that I think he is kind of handling everything on his own, but I want to know if maybe Snoke is not, like, he doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
I think it's like a Wizard of Oz.
He was a weak link for me, like in terms of a world that, like, J.J. Abrams went to such great lengths to sort of say this is grounded in practical effects, and he built a full-size Millennium Falcon for them to walk on a full-size X-wings, and so you actually felt the physicality of the world, which is I loved. Like as opposed to the George Lucas version where it was all green screen, but this you actually feel the physicality of everything. And so when I got to the Supreme Leader and he just looked like a golem,
it just looked like he looked like.
I know, and I know it's Andy Serkis. I know it's Andy Serkis, who I love, from obviously Gollum and Planet of the Apes and King Kong, but if it's Andy Serkis, I don't need to see Andy Serkis doing another when we see him not in a hologram version, I'll be interested to see what he looks like. I'm also the last thing that I'll say on this is to answer your point about the Force is I feel like it hit all the same beats of Star Wars, but I think we're going to see some larger, more metaphysical thing of like these stories are being told over and over for a reason. The Force sort of draws these people together. Again, they drew them together like through like in the middle three or the first three, whatever you call it, 4 through 6. Mm-hmm. Like these people, Luke and Leia somehow find each other. And Vader's chasing them, and oh, by the way, they're father, son, and brother, sister.
Right.
Like, what are the odds of that?
Right.
So that was pretty improbable. But you can make the argument that the Force sort of drew them together.
Yep.
Right.
So same here. I mean, whether John Boyega, and I hope this isn't true, is Lando's son, like people are trying to say.
I don't think so.
I mean, to presuppose that there's only 2 black people in the universe, the only other black dude we've ever seen just happens to be the son of the only other black dude we've ever seen.
I thought it was
I think that's a little far fetched. Other white folks are like, oh, that's Lando's son. I'm like, okay, well, there's more.
He doesn't look anything like Lando.
But he's black. so he must be Lando's son. I hope they don't do that, but if they do, they're gonna explain it. And the thing about Daisy Ridley or Rey being maybe related to Luke, the only thing that I'm worried about.
I don't think it's a Skywalker. I don't think she's.
I don't think it's too. Although J.J. Abrams is very and Kathleen Kennedy this whole time is like this 3 is about the Skywalker family. It's about the Skywalker. That's all they've been saying.
I thought it was just going to be about Kylo Ren.
Well, no, they said it's about the Skywalker family, which Kylo Ren's a Skywalker.
Spoiler alert.
I mean, I spoiler. I'm sorry. I mean, but Leia's a Skywalker.
Yeah, so
I mean,
it's about her and Luke. Like I thought that's what it meant.
So yeah, maybe, but or maybe they're fan. And the last thing I'll say, but I don't like because we don't have Luke's woman, so it's hard to think what's Luke like. Luke. Like, we know about Han and Leia,
right.
but we're supposed to be like, Luke was like, yeah, that was that one day on Bespin. It was that one night, I was kind of lonely. Like, your mom, she's gone now, but she was hot, though.
Again, not to be too nerdy, I think she's either one of Obi-Wan's descendants or Qui-Gon's descendants. That's how I feel.
Well, to be super nerdy, in the novels, I know we got to go, but in the novels, because having gone, as Akil and I have been to ILM, and we've been to the mothership a couple times. Awesome. And we know one of the things we know is that they have the full canon, including the novels. They have this master board that explains everything. So all the novels have to be approved as well. So in the novels, there's 4 novels. If you Google Mara, I think her name is Mara Skywalker.
Yeah.
Like, Luke has a wife. He has a woman who's a Force user who came to get him.
I really
don't want her to be a Skywalker child. I really don't want her.
Okay, they fought, and then they were husband and wife.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, Darth Vader was an immaculate conception, right?
Yeah.
So why is it not possible for her to be an immaculate conception of a Skywalker?
I want her to be like,
I forgot about that.
Like a Force
their first
child.
3 movies were like,
But I mean, the only reason I say that I want her to be Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon's kid is because she's the only actress who has kept her British accent.
Okay, fair enough. That makes sense. But then what? Like Obi-Wan? Like, yeah, that was that one time.
I'm just saying because
on Alderaan.
After the fall.
Like, what was Obi-Wan going to get? Like, Obi-Wan is not like trying.
I'm just saying that.
Is Obi-Wan having sex?
He can.
Obi-Wan's getting it in, bro.
The Empire fell, and Jedis weren't allowed to procreate when the
Empire fell.
You know what I mean. Like when the Jedi Council was still there.
But presumably, at the end of Episode 3, we're going.
I know. I feel bad.
The nerd goggles are on now. You unleash the nerd.
I'm sorry.
At the end of Episode 3, presumably, Obi-Wan has been kicking it on Tatooine from the time of end of Episode 3 when he's like young with a beard to the time where he's old and Sir Alec Guinness.
I'm saying.
So when is he getting laid?
He could have found a way to get
at the cantina. Like he just got to the cantina and got somebody. All right. Anyway, Google Mara Jade Skywalker. She has red hair. Google her. Like that's her. So I don't know.
Lord
anyway, all right, let's get out of here. We have a lot more. I do next week. We'll talk about my experiencing in cord cutting because I've cut all the cords.
Yeah. Good for you.
And I've got it unlocked, and I'm very happy about it.
And we got to talk about Revenant.
We got to talk about Revenant for sure. I want to talk about Star Wars Battlefront. Spoiler alert.
I've been playing so much.
Me too.
Spoiler alert.
Awesome.
Just playing.
I don't like it. I haven't. I think I'm over it. Spoiler alert. But we'll talk talk about that later. All right. So that's it. Thank you for joining us. We're very happy to be back. Congratulations to Keely. Where can we find you, Alexis, real quick?
You can find me all over social media as HORS890. Follow me there. I did my 100th vlog. I'm editing it now. It's going to be great.
Yep.
That's it.
Shine?
AKILISHINE on Instagram and Twitter.
Yep. At Joe K. Braswell, Instagram, Twitter. I keep saying Periscope, but I don't know if that's even happening. Snapchat very soon. Thank you so much for joining us. And the Blacklist is back on our sister network, AfterBuzz. I'll be doing that. It's great to see you all. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live. Scipio, Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.